What's up guys, Sal here. So at this point you should know that Samsung uses two chipsets for their flagships. One is their in-house Exynos chips and the other one is from Qualcomm, the Snapdragon chipset. North America and China gets the Snapdragon chipset while the rest of the world gets Exynos chipset. Historically, we've seen that Exynos chips tend to perform better than their counterpart except in the GPU department, where the Adreno GPU is better than the Mali one that we see on the Exynos. But from a couple of years, the story is totally different. It looks like Samsung isn't doing a good job in optimizing their own chipsets because Snapdragon is taking a lead both in CPU as well as the GPU. We've seen that on the Galaxy S10 and we're seeing it again on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus as well, even though the Note 10 Plus has the latest Exynos 9825. Gary from Gary Explains did a speed test side by side between the Snapdragon 855 and Exynos 9825 units of the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. In my opinion, this is the best smartphone speed test on the internet. Nobody does it better than Gary, especially with his commentary. I'll link down the full video in the description box below. This speed test, by the way, checks both the CPU and GPU performance of the handset. When the test starts, both the devices go neck and neck for the first few tests, but after the test 7, which is for the frame rates, the Snapdragon variant starts taking the lead and never looks back. At the end of the test, the Snapdragon variant beats the Exynos by a massive 20-second difference. It's big when you consider that both of these chipsets are the latest and greatest from these two companies. If you break it down, the Snapdragon 855 beats the 9825 by 3 seconds in the CPU department and by a massive 14 seconds in the GPU department. We already knew that Mali GPU is inferior to Adreno, but it's kinda surprising that Exynos is getting beat in the CPU department as well. Samsung needs to step up their game, to be honest. The AMD deal will surely help, but it's gonna take another couple of years, I guess. Samsung tried to compensate this difference on the S10 by giving software updates like the night mode to the Exynos variants months before they rolled it out to the Snapdragon variants, but that's not gonna cut it out. The difference is huge and they need to do something about it and not wait for the AMD deal to go through. So it looks like not all the third-party headphone dongles are going to be compatible with the Galaxy Note 10. The Note 10 doesn't have a headphone jack and Samsung isn't providing a dongle inside the box either. Sam Mobile found out that the dongle we get with the Galaxy Tab S5e doesn't work with the Galaxy Note 10. The reason they are explaining could be related to the DAC. You see, normal digital to analog audio conversion happens in the smartphone itself, but in the case of the Galaxy Note 10, it looks like it happens in the dongle. So you need a dongle that actually does it. The majority of third-party dongles doesn't. So if you need a dongle for your expensive headphones, then buy it from Samsung themselves. It costs $14.99. The Galaxy Note 10 Plus also comes with a 3D scanner that enables you to scan and create 3D models of real-life objects. Samsung showcased it at their event, but it wasn't available on the handset up until now. A lot of you told me that you can't find it on the Note 10 Plus. Well, that's because you need to install it from the Galaxy Store. The app name is 3D Scanner and it's available on the Galaxy Store, not the Play Store. This uses the time of flight sensor to create real-life 3D models, which means the smaller Note 10 won't support this app. Also, the S10 5G and Galaxy A80 have a time of flight sensor, so Samsung might enable it in those handsets in the future. Let me know if you have any questions about this down in the comments. I'd love to answer them, and also consider subscribing if you haven't already. And as always, I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.